Guten Morgen everyone! Today we are going to bake a low-cost bread. And the first ingredient, of course, is flour. And it could be any flour, the first one that you find at the supermarket. And then we'll make some bricolage or DIY using this milk carton or juice box to make an ecological banneton. And finally, and according to this low-budget bread, we're going to bake it in this oven bag. And the other important ingredient that we need is this sourdough starter. That should be always active. In case that it's not that active, you can always replace it using a pulley like this. The pulley should weigh the same as a sourdough starter. We add half of the weight with flour and we add half of the weight with water. Now we add a little pinch of yeast and we start mixing until everything is well combined. Now we cover it and leave it there at room temperature till it doubles or triples in size. And the best part of all is that we are not going to waste our precious energy, because we are not going to knead at all. The dough is going to knead by itself. But first, let's see the formula. Remember that you can download my app, free for Android or iPhone. In a bowl, we put the flour. Now we add the sourdough starter. Take a look at those bubbles. Now the salt and finally the water. Yes, all the ingredients at once. Good. And as I told you before, we are not going to knead at all. We're just going to mix everything using this Danish whisk. That's all, or the only thing that we've done. Now we have to leave it here on the counter, covered for around 4 hours at room temperature. Meanwhile the dough kneads by itself, I'll have a nice cup of Colombian coffee without milk. But I'm thinking about something. Let's make some recycling and DIY at the same time. We're going to open this milk carton, or juice box if you have. With the scissors, we start cutting by the edges. And we're done. Haha, what do you think? And now that the banneton is ready, we need some kind of linen, but instead of that, I'm going to use this mop cup. Haha. Okay, let's take a look. So as you can see, the dough is already fermented, has double or triple in size, and it's already kneaded. This is called autolysis. The autolysis is a simple process in which the proteins of the flour, when they get hydrated, they just knead the dough by itself. It only takes time, in this case 4 hours. So now what we have to do is to shape the bread. We dust the counter with some semolina. And now we try to unmold the dough slowly. Wow, take a look at all these bubbles. And we haven't done much anything. And now time to shape. We're going to make a batard. So we take one side, and now we do the same thing with the other side. And now we roll it into itself like a sushi roll, giving it some tension. Perfecto. And now some semolina on top of it, and to the banneton. Bread shaped. Now we have two options. We can wait for around 2 hours more and then bake it straight into the oven, or maybe we can do some cold fermentation and bake it tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. See you tomorrow.
Are you lost with all the sourdough bread recipes that you find on the internet? Would you like to learn all the tips and tricks to make your own sourdough bread at home? Then I have the solution. I have designed the perfect masterclass of sourdough bread just made for you. By clicking the link on the description, you will learn how to make and take care of your sourdough starter, how to knead, shape, ferment and bake your sourdough bread, how to use and read the baker's percentage, all the basic techniques to bake like a pro at home, and how to read and understand your dough. Don't miss out on it and click the link on the description right now.
And here's the bread, which has been cold fermenting for 24 hours. Okay, I know that I'm dressed just like yesterday, but that's the magic of the gluten. Okay, let's take a look. So it's time to bake. And since this is a low-cost bread, we need to continue in that way. So I'll be using these oven bags. But maybe you're asking yourself, what is an oven bag? Like the word says, it's a bag made for oven. These oven bags were originally created to use them with meat, poultry, or maybe fish. But we're going to use them with bread. What we're looking for is to emulate these Dutch ovens that we use all the time, but using an oven bag. So what we're looking for is to keep all the gases that will evaporate from the bread, to keep them to maintain them inside the bag during the first half of the bake. And then put the bread again in the oven till it gets golden brown. So let's do this. On this peel I put some semolina flour. So what do you think about this banneton? It kinda looks good, right? And now, using this super professional scoring tool according to the low-cost budget, we do the scoring. It's always easier when we do it on a cold bread. And now it's time to put it in the bag. And we go straight into the oven. And now we take it straight into the oven, preheat it at 460 degrees Fahrenheit for around 15 minutes. Good, 15 minutes. Let's remove the bag. Back to the oven, 15 more minutes till it's golden brown. Okay, the bread is ready. So now that the bread has cooled down, it's time to take a look at it. First of all, it's really light. That means that we did a good fermentation and it sounds hollow. And on the outside, I know this is not the best bread that I've ever baked, but since we did it just with the first flour that I found in the supermarket and we hadn't knead at all, so we just waited a little time, I think it's an excellent piece of bread. So let's open it up and check the crumb. The crumb, since this is a no-knead bread, it's perfect. Regular, airy, and well fermented. It is the perfect loaf for those breakfast toast. So now it's time to try it. Time to try it. Oh, it's really tasty. Not acid at all. The crumb is moist, tender, creamy at the same time, and the crumb is so thin and crispy. That's what I love. I hope that you don't do this bread at home too, and leave me in the comments how did it turn out and maybe some pictures. So I hope you have enjoyed this new video in which we haven't kneaded at all, and please share it, like it, and I'll see you on the next one. Guten Morgen, everyone.
I hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you want to learn more about sourdough bread and sourdough starter, I encourage you to check the link on the description. And remember, this masterclass was specially designed for you.